Do you like to draw? Do you like to color? Are you an artist? Hi kids, this is Auntie Mila, and I have a story for you today. I love telling stories. Our verse for today is 1 Corinthians 7, verse 7. It says, each person has a special gift from God. Did you know that? What is your gift? Well, I know I had a best friend growing up, and she was an artist. She could draw anything. Just draw. She just loved to draw. I'm not an artist that way, but I have other gifts, and I know you do too. I wonder what your gifts are. God has given each of us a gift or a talent, something special. Well, our story comes from the South Sea Islands, and it happened a long, long, long time ago. You'll see how long ago it was when you hear the story. Maggie lived with her mom and dad and a little baby sister and brother Rombo. And her brother said, Maggie, let's go down to the creek and throw rocks in the creek. And she says, no, I think I'm going to go up to the men's path. That's what they called it. There was a road that went past their village, and jeeps would go past there. And the dirt on the road was real fine. And she said, I want to draw up there. And, oh, come with me, Rombo said. Come with me to the creek. She says, well, maybe after a while, but I want to draw. So she went up through the village, up on the hill behind, and there was a little road, and the dirt was real fine. And she would make it real smooth, and then she would draw with her finger, or with a little stick. She would draw flowers. She loved to draw. That was her gift from God. She was like an artist. And she would draw, and then she thought, you know that pink flower down by the water hole, it was so beautiful. I want to draw it. But she had no colors. Have you drawn in the sand or the dirt before? Yeah, I have. But there's no color there. It's all brown, isn't it? Or tan. And she said, oh, it had big petals on it, and it was dark pink. She said, well, I don't have dark pink. And she would draw and draw and draw. And then if she heard a jeep coming, she would jump up. She'd go hide in the bushes because she was afraid of the jeeps, and she didn't want them to see her. She would hide in the bushes, and after it was long gone, she'd get up and she'd come back. And then she'd have to smooth out the dust again and draw. She would draw and draw. She really liked to draw. Well, this was one of her favorite things to do, is draw. Or she'd go down to the beach and she would draw on the beach. Flowers. And she could draw big pictures down there with houses and the sun in the sky and birds flying by. Have you ever drawn pictures in the sand? That's fun, isn't it? Well, she was just an artist. She was always drawing, wherever she could, on the ground, because she didn't have paper. She didn't even know about paper. She didn't know about pencils. She didn't know about crayons. She didn't know about anything. Just drew in the sand and drew and drew. Well, one day, she was up on the little road that went past. They call it the men's road because the men would drive the jeeps. So they called it the men's road. And she was drawing, and she heard a car coming, and she jumped over. She said, I better run. She says, well, no, I don't think they'll hurt me. I'll just stand back and let them pass. So she stood back, and the jeep came up, but it didn't go on. It stopped. And she said, why did it stop? And a lady got out, and she was a pretty lady, and she came over to her and said, are you drawing pictures? And she said, yes. And she looked down and she says, oh, that's really pretty, what you're drawing. Flowers from the jungle. And the lady said, "Do you come here very often?" And Maggie said, "Yes, I come here almost every day because it's close to my house." And the lady said, "Well, I have something for you. I want to come back tomorrow and give it to you. Okay?" "Oh, thank you." She said, "Okay, well, I'll see you. Bye." And the lady got in the Jeep and drove off. What is she going to give me? And so by that time it was getting late, so she walked home. But she was thinking, what is that lady going to give me? I wonder what she's going to give me. And she went home and she had supper and went to bed. The next morning she woke up. The lady's coming back today and she's going to give me something. I wonder what she's going to give me. I want to know what that is. And so she jumped up and she said, after breakfast, she said, "I think I'll go up to the road early today." But she didn't have school that day. And so she went up to the road and she flattened the dirt really nice. She started drawing and drawing. Well, the lady came by early. Here came the Jeep. I think that's the Jeep the lady was driving. And sure enough, the lady came up and pulled over to the side of the road and stopped. And she got out and she had something. She had magic sticks. Do you know what they are? Magic sticks. Crayons. And Maggie had never seen crayons in her life. She had never seen such beautiful colors in her life. Look at those crayons. Look at all the colors. Oh my. Maggie said, "Are those for me?" And the lady said, "Yes, that's not all. I have a pad of paper for you." And she gave her a big pad of paper. She said, "Now you can draw beautiful flowers on the paper, and then the pictures won't get run over. And you don't have to erase them because you just turn the page and you can draw some more." Maggie looked at those colors. She thought she had never seen something so beautiful in all her life. Magic sticks. And she took one out and she started drawing the color. Oh, she thought that was so beautiful. And it was a missionary lady that had stopped by. She said, "Enjoy them. I'll come back and see you sometime. I want to see your drawings that you've drawn." She said, "Okay." And she took her crayons and the paper and she went back to her house. And she said, "Mom, look what the lady gave me." And the mom looked, she said, "Well," Mom said, "I've never seen anything like that before. What are they?" She said, "They're magic sticks, Mommy. They're magic sticks. Look." And she pulled one out, a pretty purple. She says, "Look, Mommy." And Mom looked. She said, "That's amazing. Amazing." And you know what? Little Maggie was so happy with her magic sticks that she drew and drew and drew until it got dark at night. She could hardly see. And her mom said, "Maggie, you need to go to bed. It's very late." "Oh, yes, I know, but I love drawing." And next morning she got up. "My magic sticks." She went and she got them, opened them up, and put them there, and she started drawing some more. She drew and drew. She had so much fun with her magic sticks, she didn't know what to do. Well, a few days later, the missionary lady came by, and she came walking down the little village looking for Maggie. And Maggie saw her. She said, "Hi, hi." And she's, "Come, look to see what I've done." And she brought her into her house and introduced her to her mom. She says, "Mommy, this is the missionary lady that gave me the magic sticks." And the mom said, "Oh, thank you so much. You made Maggie so happy." And the missionary said, "Well, I'm so glad that she's a little artist, because that's a gift God has given her, to draw and paint. That's a really nice gift." And Maggie said, "Do you want to see what I've done?" And the missionary said, "I sure do." And she went and got her big pad of paper and she turned the page. Look. And they were beautiful flowers she drew. And the missionary lady said, "That is so nice." And then she turned the next page, and there was a scene of her house and the fields behind and the palm trees. She said, "Oh, Maggie, that is so beautiful." And she says, "Look here." And she showed her another one. And then the missionary lady started talking to her and saying, "You know, Jesus made these flowers for us, and he gave you this gift." And the missionary lady started talking to Maggie, talking to Maggie's mommy, and talking to Maggie's daddy. And they all loved her so much, and she kept coming back. And she'd bring a big black book. What do you think that would be? A big black book? This is my Bible. I like it. And the missionary lady would open it up, and she would read stories to the family, and they would sit and they would listen. Oh, that's really nice. And then she'd have prayer for them, and she prayed for them. And then she left, and then a little while later she'd come back, a few days later or a week later, and they were always so happy to see her. She became really good friends with the family, and she would open the Bible, and she would read and tell them all about the Bible. And then she told them about how Jesus made this earth, and he came down to this earth, and he died on a cross just for us, so he could save us. And they listened, and then Maggie said one day, she said, "I love Jesus too." And the missionary lady said, "I am so glad, Maggie. I am so happy, and that makes Jesus happy." And she said, "I wish I could give Jesus something really nice." And then there was a long pause. And then Maggie said, "I love him so much, maybe I could give him my magic sticks." And the missionary lady said, "That's really sweet of you, Maggie. I know how much you love your magic sticks. But did you know what? You've already given him something. You've already given him what he wants the very most." And Maggie said, "I did? What is it?" Missionary lady smiled real pretty, and she said, "You've given him your heart." And Maggie said, "I did?" She says, "Yes, because you said, 'I love Jesus.' And you've given him your heart, and that's what he wants more than anything. You can keep your magic sticks, and you can keep drawing for him, because he gave you that talent. He gave you that gift of drawing." The missionary lady said, "I can't draw like that." "Can you draw?" "Maybe you can, but I'm not a very good artist." But Maggie was, and they had prayer, and Maggie was so happy that Jesus came into her heart, and her family accepted Jesus too. And the missionary lady was so happy, all because of some magic sticks. Are these magic sticks? Well, you color them and beautiful color comes out. So Maggie called them magic sticks. I want to pray. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for giving all of us a gift. Lord, you have given each of the children a gift. Bless them. Help them to know what their gift is, and help them to use their gift for you. Thank you so much for Jesus' sake. Amen. So I want you to be thinking of, what is the gift that Jesus gave you? Because he's given all of us a gift. Maybe he's given you 2 gifts or 3 gifts. Who knows? So be thinking of what gift God has given you, okay? I will see you next Friday. I post a story every Friday. Love you. Bye.